Hi, Noah. No, I didn't feel anything. We were jumping in the water. It was a rock beach. And I was with my cousins, and one was a year older than me, and the other one was a year younger than me. So I was in the middle. So we were like 12, 11, and 10. And we were playing, jumping in the water, and just jumping off the rock beach, which is, if you ever been, go to a rock beach. Get yourself to a rock beach if you ever go to Europe or Greece or wherever you want to go. I don't know that there's a rock beach around here. I only went to sand beaches here. The thing in Malta, the rock beach is more fun than the sand beach, because the Mediterranean, you don't get those big waves like here. The Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, surfing and everything. There's no surfing in Malta. I never saw anybody surf because there's no waves in the Mediterranean. It's pretty, beautiful, but not wild. So, no, I didn't feel anything. They called us out of the water to eat, and my cousins didn't see anything. We were playing, and it took a piece of it bit me. It took a piece of my face, and I never came back. I have a pock. It looks like a pock where they bit me, and no blood or anything. And when I came out, that's when I saw my cheek. I didn't feel anything. I was drying myself with the towel. We were getting ready to eat. And I saw my cheek. And that's when I said it was unusual for me to see my face, because I was skinnier than skinny. And I told one of my aunts, and they flipped out. And they were talking in Maltese, and then they stopped. They started giving each other the eyes, because they knew that I understood everything in Maltese. So they stopped talking, and they were just giving eye and looking at me, putting olive oil on me, and telling me, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all." I don't remember it hurting. I just remember their reaction. I guess because of the rock. Well, jellyfish are everywhere, even in sand beaches, I think, in sandy water. But the thing about the rock beaches, they have the nooks and crannies in the rock when you're climbing up from the water. And I remember when I was with my parents in Malta, I don't know how old I was. That was when they took us there to live. I think I might have been 16. And I climbed out of you have to lift yourself up. You got to get yourself out of the water onto the rock. And I was walking to my dad, and he went, "Oh," and he said to my mother, "Oh, look. And Ritzy means sea urchin. I must have, when I was coming out of the water on the rock, the sea urchin was embedded, resting or whatever the hell they were doing in the rock, in the holes in the rock. You know how rocks are; they got nooks and crannies. And my knee disturbed the sea urchin, and sea urchins, when they're disturbed, they sting you. They got all those, feelers. So I came out of the water, blood dripping down my leg. And I had black spikes from the sea urchin in my knee sticking out. And my father went, look to my mother, look, Elizabeth. And I looked down, and I saw all the blood. Again, I didn't feel anything. So he said, sit down. And he picked every spike out of my knee. And my mother I have no idea what she put on. I don't know. Seawater, I guess, because the salt water is healing. And they washed my knee off with the seawater. I stayed out of the water. I probably didn't go back in the water after that. And yeah, so it's an adventure. The sea is a beautiful, beautiful place, the ocean. I don't know that we belong there, but it's fun. No, and there was no pain in either case. The jellyfish bite and the sea urchin tongues, or whatever you want to call them, sticking out of out of my knee. I don't remember any pain. I'm still here. Thanks for the question.